Hi folks, it's Friday and this is another edition of Mind Your Business with PE.com, the Press Enterprise and the Business Press. I'm Kim Pearsall and today I'm going to be joined by a special guest from the business staff, Jack Katzenich. Jack, how are you doing today?
Doing fine. Not that special, but okay.
Extremely special. And I apologize, I've got like a strange camera angle going on today. So again, I've taken over for Dave Zink for the past couple days, and so there's a lot of stuff behind me. There's weird camera angles, and I'm just hoping the audio works. So we'll go from there. But first off, we're going to talk a little bit about Jack's story that he's working on for tomorrow's edition. It has to do with a French company that came in and bought some vacant real estate space in Ontario. So tell us a little bit more about that, Jack.
Well, the company is called, and you may have to forgive me because I speak not a word of French, but Oxelane Group, and they are from France. They have a chain of sporting goods stores across Europe and called Decathlon, and I think it kind of like is pronounced a little different depending on which European country they're in, but they appear to be quite successful in Europe, and this appears to be their first try at America, and I know for certain it's their first West Coast venture.
And you were saying that they're in sporting goods, is that right?
They are in sporting goods.
Okay.
Sporting equipment, also the clothing specific to bikers and hikers and skaters and various sports.
And what were the financials of the deal? Because they got a pretty decent deal on this, right?
Well, to me, the financials are the most interesting thing of the deal. They're coming to Ontario. They're buying a center not too far from Ontario Mills, which up until a couple of years ago was anchored by Levitt's. It was essentially a home furnishings shopping center. Levitt's has been out of business for 2 years now. The business in general has been doing poorly. This shopping center closed when it was new, and that was only 4 years ago. The developer paid, I believe, $26 million for. This French company has bought it for, I believe, 11.5, and it's only 4 years old. So
oh, wow.
This is a steal. This is what you could do in the market right now. The French company, Oxelane, they paid cash, so I imagine they got a little bit better discount. But this is the kind of opportunity that's out there in commercial real estate right now. The property is 85% vacant.
And they have a few neighbors, though, correct? They have a Hooters restaurant, is that right?
They have a Hooters, there's a Denny's, there's one or two other eateries. I believe Arizona Leather is still there and still working, but 85% vacant. If you drive past the strip center and you see the big sign Levitt's with no lights in the sign anymore, you're going to drive right past it. On the other hand, it's just a few seconds from Ontario Mills, and you know that's where like 1 million people a month come and spend their money in the Inland Empire.
True.
So
yeah,
I've heard that investment.
Yeah, I've heard that Ontario Mills' attendance rivals that of Disneyland.
It does. Of course, there's no admission at the gate at Ontario Mills, but yeah, like 30 million people stroll through Ontario Mills every year.
True. Well, Jack, thanks so much for joining us today. And
my pleasure as always.
And we'll definitely look forward to your story tomorrow in tomorrow's business section.
Thanks, Kim. Good being here.
And we also have another story that's going to be on the agenda for tomorrow's edition, and that has to do with Wellington Foods. So our colleague Tiffany Ray looked at Wellington Foods, which recently moved into a new Corona facility from Long Beach, and it's a pretty big facility at that. They, I think, it represented about a $10 million investment for this family-owned manufacturer. And what we're looking at is this trend that has a lot of these food companies locating together. So it seems like that's what's happening in Corona, and we'll have more information on that in tomorrow's story.